Prince Charles slams Princess Diana's controversial butler Paul Burrell in a 2002 letter, also taking aim at staff who exercise their pathetic jealousies and vendettas in public. Prince Charles' scathing letter about Princess Diana's controversial butler Paul Burrell has finally been revealed after nearly 20 years. Written in November 2002, the letter sees Charles slam people like Burrell and royal household staff who exercise their pathetic jealousies and vendettas in public. The handwritten document is tipped to sell for £2,000 with London-based Chiswick Auctions on July 21. Burrell was on trial at the Old Bailey just weeks before it was written, charged with theft relating to 310 items that had belonged to the late Princess of Wales worth £4.5 million. He was not convicted after the Queen recalled he had told her he was keeping some of Diana's possessions. The court heard claims that Charles was a pampered prince with a team of servants waiting on him, including one to squeeze his toothpaste. In the 4-page letter written to Miss Marjorie Dawson, the former personal maid of the Queen's cousin Princess Alexandra, Charles slams the media circulation war for offering vast sums of money to royal staff members. Charles wrote on November 29, 2002, "Bless you for taking the trouble to write as you did in the wake of all the ghastliness that is going on. I find it utterly incredible, as I have done nothing but show people like Paul Burrell every consideration over the years. Unfortunately, we are now to be treated as mere pawns in a terrifying and ongoing media circulation war where the actual facts are totally disregarded and vast sums of money are offered as bribes to former and current members of staff to exercise their pathetic jealousies and vendettas in public." One member of staff has been offered a total of £5 millions by the newspapers in recent weeks. Valentina Borghi, specialist at Chiswick Auctions, said of the document, "It is rare to find a letter from Prince Charles which is so open about his feelings. It was a difficult time for the royals and I believe he was pretty upset when he wrote this letter. We are used to a much calmer version of Prince Charles, so he must have been very hurt when so many people he thought he could trust were willing to make money by selling private facts about his family." Burrell wrote a controversial memoir titled Royal Duty, released in 2003 following Diana's death in 1997. On the evening of November 20, 1995, the BBC broadcast a 55-minute interview with Diana, the Princess of Wales, on Panorama, its flagship investigative news program. The show had been made in great secrecy. Only a handful of people at the BBC knew of its existence. The chairman of the broadcaster, Marmaduke Hussey, had been kept in the dark because his wife was the Queen's lady-in-waiting. Alan Yentab, the controller of BBC One, the channel that ran the interview, says he was not told because he was a terrible gossip. The royal household, including Diana's advisors, had been similarly excluded. The interview had been filmed on the evening of Sunday, November 5, which was Guy Fawkes Night in England. Diana gave her staff the night off. When a minimal BBC film crew, led by Martin Bashir, a 32-year-old Panorama reporter, arrived at Kensington Palace to record the interview, the princess opened the door herself. "I was 15 years old at the time, a pupil at a boarding school in Kent. I lived in a dormitory with 60 other boys and one television. Every evening, after homework, the TV was reliably tuned to sports, a violent film, or some comedy. The night of the broadcast, we watched Diana. The room was dark, quiet, and full. If you grew up in Britain in the 80s, Diana was a continual, shimmering presence, old enough to be our mother but occupying a completely separate realm. Everything about her was tinged with melodrama, necessarily, but Diana was also as familiar as the weather. Beyond a blushing sentence or two, though, we had barely heard her speak. She was as silent as she was everywhere. My main memory of the BBC interview remains Diana's voice, deeper than I expected, more deliberate, more knowing.